This is the Texas Dirt Track Stars of Tomorrow podcast. I'm your host, Mike Fortier, coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas. This is a show where we interview and discuss the up-and-coming future legends of the Texas racing scene. So grab a cold one, kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey, fans and followers and friends and all that good stuff. October 10th, 2024. I think this is episode 17. I just can't get over how quickly these go by. Had a lot of fun this season. So far, it's been an adventure for me. I've learned a lot. Learned a lot about what not to do and what I should do on these podcast deals. And I've learned a lot about the drivers. That's been the best part of it all for me. Just getting to know some of these younger drivers that are coming up through. Hope you're all enjoying it, and I'm always open for comments, suggestions. If you know anybody that might like to come on, just get in touch with me. We'll see what we can do. Tonight we have a young fella that runs at I-37 Speedway. Managed to win his first track championship in the Sport Compact class. Had a heck of a season. Had himself a few wins, a few victories, and won it all. So what else can I say? Well, so without any more crap, here's the man, Eric Wilson. You there, buddy? How are you?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Going good. Going good. I like your setup, buddy. That's a nice setup you got there. Nice
Thank you.
backdrop.
Yes, sir. My little workshop.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's awesome. So how's your season been? I mean, you still got the points are over, right? You managed to get in the
Yeah.
championship.
It was a grind.
Yeah.
Absolute all-out grind this year. Between losing my dad with about 2 races to go, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
he had never missed a race before that. I think maybe 3 races to go. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
Time flies by, you know. But and then the trouble I've been having with that car. That car has had a mind of its own this year.
Really?
And this last race, I actually had to get pushed off the track after the race. With
Yeah.
2 laps to go, it started cutting out on me.
Yeah.
But to begin the race, it started cutting out on me. I couldn't even catch up to the field pacing. And I finally, just in desperation, hit the starter button, thinking maybe there's some kind of a weird electrical thing, you know, just whatever was in reach.
Right.
I hit the starter button while it was running in gear, and it started running just fine. And got up and
loose wire.
yeah, and so the whole race I was reaching up, hitting the starter button, and hoping it didn't click into the teeth on the flywheel.
All right.
And every lap or two, it would start cutting out.
Well, you wound up third.
Yeah,
So that was
barely.
the week before that, on the 14th of September, you won that one.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Car
you-
was good that time.
Yeah, you've had MRP is showing you 12 starts, 3 wins, 11 top 5s, and 12 top 10s. Pretty decent year,
Oh yeah.
I would say. Pretty decent year. Must make you feel pretty good. How did it feel to when you heard you'd won the points?
Oh,
Or
I
did
knew
you know it
going.
was coming? I don't know how close it was, I guess, put it that way.
I knew going into that race that 6th or better is what I needed.
Okay.
And it was a little bit sketchy coming off the heat race. The car died pulling into my pit stall. And I said, okay, that's not a good sign for the future.
Yeah. Well,
And so going into the race, it was just, okay, I just need to survive. I just need to make 20 laps.
mhm.
You know, I knew the car, if it was running at all, it would be fast enough for a top 6.
Yep. Well, good for you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's pull a picture of that car up right there. That's pretty sweet picture, isn't it, bud?
Yes, sir. That's the most dented up Saturn you'll ever see.
I took that picture actually. So I don't feel guilty. I'm not using somebody else's pictures here.
There you go. That's a
And
great picture.
if I do, I always try my best to give the person that took the picture credit.
Oh yeah.
So I'll take the credit for this one. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, uh, that was a good night for you. I remember it quite well, and
Uh,
yeah, yep,
a lot of family show up. It was great.
yep. How long have you had this car?
Oh, so this car, the engine and transmission out of this car, I've had since 2015. It was
Okay,
in another car that I bought and crashed real bad in 2016, and then crashed it again at the end of 2016, and crashed it again in 2017 at I-37 Speedway here.
so
And
you're
that
trash Wilson. All right.
yeah, that chassis I had to get rid of, and this car was given to me in 2017 by Ryan Stoy,
Okay.
and it was a rolling chassis. That's all it was. Needed a drivetrain.
Okay.
The previous owner had driven it up underneath a pickup truck. That's why I have those bars instead of frame horns, that square tubing,
Oh yeah.
because there were no frame horns on it, and I
Yeah.
had to buy a new hood for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Sweet. Sweet.
So technically, 2017 is how long I've had the car. I've
Okay.
been building it slowly. I finally finished it in 2020.
Yep. Did you have you raced? I know you raced this entire season. At 37 doesn't look like you went anywhere else. Uh,
Mhm.
have you pretty much raced? Where did you come up through from? Did you have you always run sport compacts there?
It's always been sport compacts.
Okay.
I first started out when Central Texas Speedway had their rental go karts.
Right.
That's the first thing I ever drove, and I figure, if I can drive decent on that, not lose my nerve, might as
Uh-huh.
well try a big car, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so we bought a little Hyundai Elantra Sport Compact, and it was all downhill from there.
Yeah. That's cool. So so you've been in it roughly what 2017 today, so 8 years.
2014 was my first year.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Um,
so 10 years.
roughly 10 years. I had to take a few years off due to TBI. My reaction times were just too slow.
Really? Yeah.
I had a bad crash in turn four at Central Texas Speedway in 2016, and that kind of slowed my brain down for a little while.
That's unfortunate, man.
But
Yeah. How long
it's
were you tied up?
I was out of it for from when I crashed out of that's I think part of the reason why I was crashing so much after that wreck. It was just bad reactions. Pretty much until 2020.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I went to race at Houston Motorsports Park, and the pandemic shut down the season there.
Yeah.
So
How'd it feel? How'd it feel to get back in the car after
it
being?
felt great.
Yeah.
That little car is so fast on asphalt. I mean, it's a breeze to drive it on asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
You can get sideways, let go of the wheel, and it just corrects itself. I mean, it's perfect.
Car drives itself almost, right?
Almost on dirt, not so much.
Yeah. Right. Really. Really. Well, that's cool. What are you looking at doing another season here? We still got a couple races at 37. I think the sport complex will be running again, won't they?
I think so. I'm
Yeah.
probably not going to make that one, just because of the issues with the car, unless I can figure something out with it.
Okay.
I don't know what the heck is going on, because it won't run with the map sensor connected. It won't run with the ECTS connected. It won't run with the IAT connected. It's the weirdest thing, and those are usually the sensors that it has to have to run. So
Interesting. Huh.
I don't know if the computer's got some kind of a short or something, or what. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stock computer. It's the original computer.
Yeah.
Never been tuned or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a disadvantage to me this year.
Well, you know what? You struggled through it and ended up winning a track championship with it. So,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Uh,
frustrating as heck probably getting there. But
Top five was the goal every week.
yeah,
uh,
there you go. Um, what are you looking to do in the future? You looking to move up to
um,
another class or?
yeah, if I can,
Hmm.
I would love to race something different than compacts. I mean, front wheel drives. Not to brag on myself, but they're easy for me to drive. After 10 years off and on of driving them, it's just everything the car does. Pretty much, I can react to.
Right.
You know, it kind of takes the I guess the mystery out of driving it.
Have you ever driven a rear wheel drive race car?
I've done 4 laps in an Allison Legacy car at
Okay.
Central Texas Speedway. I still remember what my fastest lap time was. I think it was a 17.49, and the owner of the car was Mr. James Huff.
Okay. That's cool.
I know I wasn't far off of his time, so I was a few tenths maybe.
Yeah.
But in my defense, that car was set up for a much shorter person, and my knees were up against the steering wheel.
A smaller wheel.
Yeah, something. But
Yeah.
it was fun. It felt so much more comfortable to drive something where I can use more throttle to get more slip angle.
Yeah. That's a cool class. I mean, I managed to catch a
Oh
few of
yeah,
those before they shut down, but yeah, it was a pretty slick class. I was surprised. I mean, when I first time I went up there to see them, I was like, "Holy crap! These cars are pretty nice." There's a lot
yeah,
to them. I mean, they're
yes.
pretty sophisticated for what they are. You know, it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who you got helping you on this little beast?
Pretty much, it's all been me.
I'll bet
Um,
you. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Towards the end of the year, I had a few. I had a coworker become a teammate. He bought a couple cars and brought them over from Alabama, and that
Hmm.
would be Anthony Norris and his father.
Okay.
And they've got 2 cars. They haven't put one on the track yet, but I went through and rebuilt that car for them, and
Yeah.
made sure everything was as right as it could be.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But all the work on it. I built the engine myself, did all the machine work myself. I didn't build the roll cage; it was out of my previous car, but I did install it. I built a square tubing frame for the roll cage to sit on to add some safety to the bottom of the car.
Right.
Um, and all the setup work, all that I do myself.
Yeah. Sweet.
Takes a lot of advice from more experienced drivers and all that. I know Josh Jones is probably regretting giving me advice on tire pressures at the start of the season.
Well, no, I mean,
But
I hear you, but more drivers should do that. I mean, it's
exactly,
for the
I agree with
benefit
that.
of everybody, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so you just give away your secrets, but you can't give away your skill to drive.
exactly. If you can't
So
beat somebody out of straight talent,
yeah,
then you don't deserve to beat them the way I see it. You
that's
know?
that's right. Yeah, I was like, come on, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
race. Let's race.
That's
Yeah.
that was one of the cool factors with me and him, Josh Jones, this year was each of us had our nights that we were hot.
Uh-huh.
And the talent levels, I think, between both of us are so close that it was like one night, one night he's here, one night I'm here.
Uh-huh.
It's just it made for such good racing. We both ran each other as clean as we could. I mean, it was an awesome
Mm.
championship run with him, and
That's
to the
great.
point where if I finished second, it wouldn't have mattered to me.
Well, I
Yeah.
know y'all put on a good show for the fans too. It
Oh
was
yeah.
it was good racing.
Oh yeah.
Most of the season. It
He had every opportunity in the world to take me out a couple of races there. I didn't even know he was there until I get a little too sideways and see his front bumper. But
yeah. Yeah.
he never did. So
Yeah. Good. Good clean racing. Awesome.
yes.
What's the significance of your car number, which is something I like to ask drivers? Is there a history to that number? Is there some special
That is the month and day of my wife's birthday. So 1/8.
January 8th?
Yes, sir.
I'll be darned. You're not going
That's
to
it.
put a couple more digits behind it.
No, we're not gonna do that. Uh, you're gonna get me in trouble here.
Hey, I know it's all cool.
uh,
Yeah. Well, anyway, sponsors. Anybody helping you, or is this all out of
all
your
out of pocket.
all out of pocket? So you don't have any sponsors. Son of a gun.
Yeah, I would love to. I have a little bit of trouble with communication. I think some of it stems from that accident,
Sure.
and it's hard for me to I guess negotiate sponsorships and all that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well.
it's hard for me to commit to anything,
Hmm.
like that. But it's something that I'm getting better at. Maybe next season I'll work on that.
Well, maybe
We'll see.
the main reason I'm doing this podcast is to try to help folks
Mm,
like you. Uh,
yeah.
I think y'all don't get the opportunity to go public, if you will, or
Oh yeah.
present yourself and talk and be interviewed and brag
Yeah.
on yourself. That's all part of the gig, in my opinion. That's all
Yeah.
part of racing. Uh, but the other thing too is hopefully what can come out of these podcast shows is somebody listening to you, taking a liking to you, understanding what you're trying
Yeah.
to accomplish and where you are in life, and help you out. And
Oh,
that's that's what this is all about. And you never know.
yeah.
It's being in the right place at the right time, and meeting the
Yeah.
right people. And it's not easy.
Mhm.
It's not easy to find anybody to hand money over to you for a
Mhm.
race car. It's just
Yeah.
very difficult to find
I
those
know.
kind of people and businesses that are willing
And
to
to
do.
find the time to keep business deals together and all that. I mean, I
Yeah.
work 50 hours a week.
Yep.
Um, so and besides that, I've got a wife and 2 kids and
Yep.
a race car that wants to act up and break every race and all that. I couldn't tell you how many struts I've gone through this year.
That seems to be pretty common with those guys, from what I understand. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Front struts, rear struts.
Both. Front struts mainly from contact, but rear struts, I lean real hard on that right rear when I
Uh
go
huh.
into the corners. And I had one race, I think 2 wins ago. The second race I won, I
Yep.
think it was 3 this year. Yeah. Um, After that race, well, about 5 or 6 laps to go, I felt something, and when I drive, it's weird. I can kind of feel the parts of the car like in my body.
Yep.
Um, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
And I could feel a part didn't feel right. And so I kind of eased off on the car a little bit. Well, I lifted the car after the race, everything looked fine. I pulled the rear wheels off, and I was looking up into the top of the strut tower, and I said, you know what? I can see daylight.
Whoops.
I'm not supposed to see daylight through where there's supposed to be rubber. I tore the strut mount out.
Okay. Yep.
That's where the shock tower comes up into the strut.
Right. But
And
you comment about feeling the car and different components in the car.
yes.
That's totally true. I mean, you become one
Oh yeah.
with
Oh
that
yeah.
car, especially if it's a car you race all the time. You know it
Yes.
inside out. You know what it's going to do and not going to do, and when something
Yeah.
doesn't feel right, you know it.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a lot like riding motorcycles. After
Yes.
after a few thousand miles, you become one with the bike.
Yeah.
And, I think it's the same kind of thing. It's
Oh yeah.
just becomes an extension of you.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's really cool.
Oh yeah. And
Yep.
that's one thing I love about it is especially on dirt, I can feel every rut, all the little bumps and stuff. I can feel which tires and what rut. I love it. That's the
Yep.
best thing I
Yeah.
don't know if it's that way with the rear wheel drive cars, but the front wheel drive cars, you rely so heavily on the ruts left by the bigger cars.
Yeah.
Um, when you can
Well, the
hook
other
into a
cars,
good rut.
yeah, the other cars you're running a little bit wider tires, so you might not feel the ruts as much as you do in a sport compact. I don't know, but
Oh yeah,
so that's going to be a different experience for you too. But that's
yeah.
that's all right. Well, cool, Eric. Uh, I don't need to take up any more of your time here, but listen, you're doing great. And
Thank you.
if you hadn't said anything to me, I would. You're fine, man. You're fine.
Well, if anybody wanted to put me in a seat for a few hot laps, I'd sure appreciate it.
You go.
I'm coachable.
There you go.
I'll listen.
Yeah. What do you think of the fireball class?
Oh, I would love to run that class. That
It's
would
pretty.
be amazing. The car count in that class, it I couldn't imagine.
It's going up.
Yes, yeah, I couldn't imagine being on a dirt track with 20 other cars at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a rush. I
Yeah.
imagine.
Um, it's a decent class. I mean, to me, and it's well, you got a lot of you got a lot of pros running in it, if you will. Well
Yes.
experienced racers. But by and large, it's a great class for somebody to get into. I think, uh,
Yeah.
especially if you're coming from a sport compact up. Uh,
Oh yeah.
they, I mean, it's the motors they're pretty much open motors. I mean, they're pretty much no limit except for a chip. And there's some pretty big motors out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the. We'll have to wait and see what they do during the off season if they make any
Okay.
changes to those rules or not. But that's probably the most expensive part of that class, or most any class for that matter. But,
Yeah. Yeah. I'd have to build one myself if I went into that class. I think,
yep,
which
yep,
I can do. I can build the machinery to work a cylinder head and all that. I've done it out of junk from thrift stores
yep,
before.
yep. There you
Good
go.
cheap glass and some sandpaper.
I mean, some of those Camaros, I mean, they're not hard to find. They're out there,
Oh yeah.
and they're not
Oh,
necessarily expensive either.
yeah.
If you don't mind doing a lot of
Well,
work, bring them
I've
back
got
to.
an old I've got an old IMCA mod. I don't know if it's even possible to convert one of those to a fireball, but it's kind of just a happy thought right
Yeah,
now.
I hear you. I hear you.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that car will ever see a track again or not, but
Hmm.
hopefully it will.
Well, tell me about that. What kind of car is that?
It's an old IMCA mod that I assume ran 10, 15 years ago. Used to be an orange number 3.
Not
Um,
IMCA. You're saying
yeah,
something
it
different.
was an IMCA mod.
Oh, I okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you then. Yep.
Um, I don't know really anything about it.
Hmm.
I'll have if I start working on that, I'll have a lot of questions to ask a lot of people.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but I got in a package deal with a couple of wing modifieds that I sold,
Uh huh.
and decided to keep the modified and just as if I ever have the money to put it together,
Yep.
you know, it's
Yeah.
it's an
Well,
older chassis, so it won't be too fast, but it'll be a good learning chassis.
all right. Right. Probably a lot of suspension components wouldn't
Mhm.
work in that fireball class, but what do I know?
Oh yeah.
What do I know? Well, all right, Eric. Anything else you want to say here? Anybody you want to recognize or?
Yes, definitely. I want to thank Matt Maynard for coming out and helping me as a crew member for the last couple of races. That I really needed that. It's rough to do all the setup work, the building, the repairing, the loading up, unloading, loading
Mhm.
back up, and driving back when it's almost a 2-hour drive. So he helped me a ton
Right.
with that.
Cool.
Um,
And
all
and
the
you're
other drivers for their support in the class. It's been a good field, good class.
good. Good. And you're from Uvalde, right?
Yes, sir.
Uvalde, Texas. Yeah. All right, Eric. Keep plugging.
Will do.
Keep up the good work. And sounds like you worked pretty darn hard this summer, but it
Yes.
paid off, buddy. You got the
Yeah.
top. You got the top award.
Made me earn it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, buddy. Hey, listen. Thank you very, very much for coming on, and I hope
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yep. I hope that maybe you can make some use of this video. It'll be posted out on Facebook and YouTube. Feel free to use it, but send it off. Tag some of your favorite business people and say, "Hey, come on,
There you go.
come on,
Will
let's go.
do.
Let's get this done, buddy."
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
bud.
Thank
Hey.
you.
Thank you very much, Eric, and best luck to you. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye. Well, that was fun. That's fun. This fella right there, man, his heart's in the right place. That's for sure. So, all you folks looking for a way to get involved in the sport of racing, there's your chance right there. So, hopefully it'll all work out for Mr. Wilson. And it was a real pleasure talking to him. Next, I don't have a guest lined up yet for next Thursday, next show. I got a couple that I'm working on, but I'll let you know as soon as I know who we're going to have. We've got, since I hang out at I-37 all the time, I like to plug them as much as I can, but we've got another race coming up, non-points, October 19th at I-37 Speedway. Should be a good night. And then we have the sixth annual DTK Memorial towards the end of October, and the biggest money race in South Central Texas ever, as far as I know, the Showdown, I believe, is what it's being referred to, in early December, late November, early December. So it's all good, folks. We're doing pretty well down there. It's been a really good season, and I want to thank everybody that's been on this show and taken time to support it. Hopefully it's amounting to something. So without any further ado, thank you all very much, and we'll catch you next Thursday night. Take it easy, buddy. All of you. Bye bye.